Welcome to the Space Jam.
Welcome back, everybody. How's everybody doing out there in Cinephella land? These two Cinephella boys, Uncle Logan and Henry, we're ready to get wild, and we're going to review the brand new LeBron James starring Space Jam, A New Legacy. We grew up with the first Space Jam with the GOAT, Michael Jordan, so we might be a little biased as to LeBron and Michael and Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2, but we are going to give you our honest thoughts of this new WB directed at HBO Max, as well as being in theaters. And we're talking about LeBron James starring in Space Jam 2. We've been hearing rumors all these years who is going to be the next basketball player to take over Michael Jordan's role for Space Jam. You know, they've been talking about doing a second film all these years. And all these years later, after the original, here comes LeBron. And he's with all the tunes that we know. And little did I know that this was going to be one long Warner Brothers advertisement.
Oh shit! To say the least, this is like ridiculous, like over the top. Like, hey, have you seen all 3,000 of our movies? Let's show you like a parody version of those characters in the background the entire movie. But anyway,
everybody shopped at the Spirit Halloween store for their costumes too. I noticed during the game, characters in the background, you'd see like the original, like Jack Nicholson Joker, just doing the same thing with the cane, like throughout the whole thing. And they all looked like just people in Halloween costumes of the characters that we know and love.
Not one of them looked anything like the character. It was like a Hot Topic or Spirit Halloween costume. It was fucking really distracting away, taking you away from the really good, intricate story. Not really. It's terrible. But yeah, if we don't know who LeBron James is, of course, we have a recap and highlights of his entire career in the beginning of this film. For another plug for LeBron James and not his hair plugs. But Uncle LeBron, which I cannot stand in any shape or form here, it's about him and his career and go to this Warner Brothers pitch and how he's different from his son Dom. Dom is like a gamer kid, different. He doesn't like basketball, and it really sets up this conflict between him and his son. And they're trying to figure out their family and this relationship with father and son, and they end up Warner Brothers under this algorithm played by Don Cheadle. And it basically, his son is in this, and LeBron has to go and play a game to get it back. And that's pretty much the setup of the film.
We meet Don Cheadle's villain, LG Rhythm, in the Warner Brothers serververse. So he's the Wizard of Oz of this universe. And basically it's all of Warner Brothers property, IP. So we see some glimpses of all their IP basically, but it just looks not very good at all. Like even when it's animated, they go by like Game of Thrones world. You don't see the actual realistic Game of Thrones characters. You see some like CGI character of a dragon flying, you see the logos, but you don't see anything that makes you be like, wow, there was the actual Pennywise. It's just, everything looked off, looked silly, out of place. I don't know what they were thinking in a lot of these moments. It just really felt like a commercial for most of the time. They did have the story with LeBron and his kid, but it never clicked for me to make it mean anything. The first one had a lot of heart, at least you could say. Jordan's acting, obviously he couldn't act. He's a basketball player. But that one had, it pulled the heartstrings a little more, made you want to see him beat the Toon Squad. This just didn't have anything like that. Like they tried to do it with the father-son thing, but I never with thinking that LeBron and his son were like actually struggling. It just felt like straight acting to me. But again, maybe I'm biased, maybe just because it's LeBron and it's brand new and I've seen it once, but I don't think so. I think many of the reviews that I read for it, echoed the same thing. The story wasn't there. The heart wasn't there. And without that, it just seems like one big advertisement for the Looney Tunes. And even that was kind of weird how they went to CGI. I thought I didn't really like them as much as the CGI characters. It seemed real creepy. I know what they're trying to do, obviously update the look and feel of Space Jam when they're playing basketball and everything. And there are some cool moments, some cool effects in that whole basketball game. But other than that, it was just a big heartless mess, just like the, main villain of the story is the algorithm. It just felt like hollow, like a, computer world or something that's not real life. It's just all digital and nothing meant anything for me. So I didn't care about this movie one iota. I do not have any any wishes to watch this again at any point, and I don't know if I will. And I can't say that about the first one because I recently revisited that when it was on Netflix. So, what did you think about Space Jam: A New Legacy Sport?
Yeah, I forgot about it already. I watched it 6 hours ago. I was trying to remember because I don't fucking care. Yeah, it was a CGI mess about a person that I don't give a shit about at all, LeBron James. We don't need any more of his self-loathing bullshit. And yeah, it was just a mess from start to finish. I don't think I liked anybody in this movie. Him and his kids had no chemistry at all. His wife had no chemistry. It was, yeah, it was just very bland, generic. It seemed like a really shitty parody or spoof movie. That's what it made me feel like. And then nothing felt like it was real. Even like all the characters that we know and love from other Warner Brothers movies seemed like a cheap ripoff of a costume and really distracting. I will say that there's trying the basketball game. We have Pennywise in the background, Harry Potter, The Matrix, you know,
The Mask.
The
I saw the
Mask.
Droogies from A Clockwork Orange, all weird.
I saw Scooby Doo, the band.
Scooby Doo, King Kong.
If you guys want to do a Where's Waldo and find all the Warner Brothers
Exactly.
characters, you can pause it and find them.
That's
But
what it is.
It just
That's
didn't
all
make
it turns into.
it didn't make sense. It was just a Warner Brothers commercial that just never stopped. And easily one of the worst movies of the year, if not the worst movie of the year. Awful. Again, I already forgot about most of the film. I could see kids liking this, you know, having fun with some cartoons and CGI and a rapping pig. But being a grown adult here, nothing was enjoyable except the end credits when it ended. So that's how I feel about Space Jam: A New Legacy. Awful.
Hated it.
Hated it. The original Space Jam with Michael Jordan, the original GOAT, the only GOAT, MJ. Loved it.
Love that one too. Yeah, I definitely love the original. New Legacy offered some new visuals and everything, but yeah, it just didn't work as a movie for me. You gotta tug on my heartstrings a little, make me feel something, especially when we're going to cartoon land.
Yeah.
But you know, at least we can say that Warner Brothers owns a lot of properties anyway. But other than that, can't really say much. I love how they just pulled out straight scene from Mad Max Fury Road and just put the cartoon heads on the bodies. I was like, what the hell? That's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
At least recreate it. But yeah, it just turns into a Where's Waldo movie, basically, for what characters you can recognize from other Warner Brothers IP. After we just pretty much diminished everything, LeBron's acting, I don't know, he's, you know, talking to a green screen most of the time. It's hard to actually get a grasp of what he can do here. I mean, obviously he's not the best actor or anything, but he's actually pretty decent. And Trainwreck with Amy Schumer back in the day, not that it was a big role or anything, but I mean, I don't think he's terrible. I've seen much worse in athletes, but yeah, this one he's mainly got to talk to a green screen. So there's not much life and not much believability. Sounds like he's reading lines in this. Not great. One good thing about A Space Jam Legacy, apparently it did pretty good in theaters. It edged out even Black Widow this weekend. So LeBron can count that as a win, I guess. Most of us viewers that aren't kids and are older and like the first one, yeah, you're not going to like Space Jam New Legacy as much. Don Cheadle was over the top as a villain. I mean, I guess he's one of the bright shining parts of the film. Not saying much. He's just basically chewing up scenery, just going wild, you know, not really having to care because it's this over the top character. So he looks like he's having fun. But yeah, other than that, there's not a lot of wins. There's no big epic songs like in the Space Jam. You had, of course, Seal, Fly Like an Eagle, and you had R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly. Those are two iconic songs from the time. So maybe we're just old now and don't know the music, but there weren't any songs in there that gave me the same kind of feeling like, oh, this is going to be remembered for this movie or anything like that. So overall, I am going to give Space Jam A New Legacy. How many hair pieces? I'm not going to give this one hair pieces. I'm going to give it hairlines, since we're talking about LeBron. And hey, man, mine's receding too, LeBron. No shame. But I'm going to go ahead and give Space Jam A New Legacy. And this is being nice. A 2.5 out of 5 LeBron hairline hair pieces.
I think the only redeeming qualities here, I think, was Lil Rel Howery, the comedian. He was hilarious. And Michael Jordan shows up in it that I literally laughed out loud at. Michael B. Jordan. It's a little comedy and throw a little Friday Night Lights quote in there. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. That was one of the best parts of the movie. Didn't see that coming at all. I thought MJ was actually going to show up in it, but that was funny. That was only redeeming qualities about this. The rest of the movie was god awful, forgettable. You watch it once, you'll never watch it again. And I don't plan on watching this ever again. So that being said, I'm going to give it Space Jam: A New Legacy a 1 out of 5. LeBron James hair plugs.
Ouch. A really painful review from the two of us. I think that's one of the lower reviews you've given to a movie, which is saying a lot because we've watched some turds in our time, but usually we can find redeeming qualities in movies. There's not much redeeming about, that's it. Michael B. Jordan, the one clever quip from the movie that we can remember. So how did you guys feel? Did you guys enjoy it a little more than this? Are we being overly critical of LeBron James since we're both Michael Jordan fanboys? Probably, but also no. This movie didn't have any soul. So say what you want. We didn't like it. Maybe you guys liked it a little more. Let us know in the comments below and tell your friends about us. If you haven't already, please click subscribe. We have an ongoing Fellas giveaway going on right now where we're giving away the original Space Jam with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny, the original 90s version with Bill Murray and a bunch of actors that you actually care about, and without all the WB IP in the background distracting you and having you play Where's Waldo. We're also giving away another Warner Brothers movie, Mortal Kombat, that just came out a couple months ago on HBO Max and in theaters. So we have 2 digital codes, Space Jam and Mortal Kombat, that we were giving away. We're going to give those away, and we're going to announce the winner next Thursday, July 29th. So watch out for the winner. If you haven't already entered, just leave a comment on that post. And what was the question again? Oh, what was a movie that you came in with low expectations and came up, surprising you so far this year? So let us know. Just answer that. Leave a hashtag Fellas giveaway and you're automatically entered in. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and over on Cinephellas.com. We have a few reviews right up here on our YouTube channel, podcast of the Cinephellas Boys, episode 117, and then our Fear Street trilogy reviews with Henry and I, low-key the entire season. It's a bunch of great content. And we have another podcast coming up this weekend, some more reviews with Henry and I. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned and go click on HBO Max and put on Space Jam: A New Legacy. If you want to go to sleep, that is, boys. So this is your 2 favorite NBA enthusiasts signing out until the next movie review.
Oh, look out for that first step, Doc. It's a real Lulu.
Bugs Bunny.